What's going on, guys? GrimDM back here with another video and a collection update. So as you would have seen from previous videos, I have been spending a bit of cashola, sprinkling the dollary doos on some minis, which I have started painting. I am going to do a separate video to show you how I'm going with that. So this video is just a quick one. It is just a couple of updates to my collection for AD&D and a couple of other things I've bought for hobbying. So first of all, we've got the blue splat book here, the Castle Guide. So for those that aren't aware, and I think I mentioned it when I did the other video, the blue splat books, I mean it even says it here, are the Dungeon Master's Guide. So this is filled with ideas, rules, different sort of things you can do around running games within castles, including, so we've got some, the good old traditional sort of graphics, stuff here on the back. Lots of helpful information, different sort of even events that you can do within the castle, some random generated tables. You never know whether there's going to be like bad weather or some sort of event's going to happen. I am a big fan of Game of Thrones, and one of the reasons that I am a fan of that show is I like the political intrigue, and around the political situations, obviously, they have lots of scenes, lots of things happening, like in the capital, in the Red Keep. You've got people politically maneuvering with secrets and violence and rumors and all those kinds of things. And if you make a big enough castle, you can really sort of get into some nitty-gritty intrigue, and I think take it away from the murder hobo aspect. So I've had this one before, and I have used it before, but obviously it's been quite some time since I actually read it properly, I should say. But definitely gonna check that one out. And the next one, which was a bit of a disappointment for me, is the Complete Book of Elves splat book. Now, I'm not disappointed in this for the quality of the material. The Complete Book of Elves is generally regarded as one of the better splat books amongst the series. The reason that I'm a bit disappointed in this is the condition. So, in the listing on eBay, they did say it would be, they've got a whole bunch of stuff listed, a lot of really good things, but they said the condition of some books would range from poor to good. So they've used a tool basically to mass upload all of this stuff, which I'm fine with. And like in the photos, like it definitely did show this damage here. I had a look, and for the price, I think it was like $59 Australian. Generally the Elves book goes for a lot more than that, so I was just like, you know what, I'll get it, and then you don't see it come up that often, so one day then I'll be able to get an upgrade kind of thing. But then when I opened it, I don't want to make the damage worse, but you'll see where that damage is on the cover. There's obviously been a lot of water or something there, so that page is stuck and subsequently ripped. Now those photos of that damage were not in the auction, so I have emailed the seller. Look, I don't want to go through the rigmarole of sending it back, getting a refund, and then trying to find another one. It's too much dicking around, so I've asked for a refund. They've asked what I think fair, so I just said, look, give me $10 back. If they don't, then I'm going to lodge a proper dispute through eBay and give them some negative feedback, but I don't like resorting to that. I think 99% of the time, people sell stuff, it's inadvertent, it's an accident, they missed it, whatever. I accept these things happen. I don't want to be like a gigantic jerk about it, but it did make me a little bit disappointed. I am going to see what I can do to try to lift that paper that's stuck to the cover back, and then try to repair the page somewhat, just to not make it worse. But yeah, definitely a good book. Lots of cool kits in here. One of the quintessential kits from this book that player upon player upon player would want to run is the Bladesinger. So think of the Bladesinger as an above an above ground drow. So lots of people, obviously from the Drizzt books, want to play because he is a very cool character, but not wanting to accept the ramifications of a drow on the surface. Like, if you're being authentic to Forgotten Realms and those kinds of things, more or less, if a regular elf sees you, they will want to kill you. That's the levels of hatred. And, you know, I drows exist in all my campaign worlds. I think they're very cool, but I do expect them to be treated in the regular drow fashion. So, much to players' chagrin for campaigns I've DM'd, no, you cannot be a drow. So the next thing, they would all want to be Bladesingers and stuff. And I did run an adventure once where the entire party were as Bladesingers. So we basically, they were treated as a special forces group, more or less, I suppose you could say, for the elves that went out and did clandestine missions to recover important elvish artifacts, spy, perform things, and it was really fun. So, but min-maxing, you know, it's been around forever. People complain about it in all the editions. There's always people that want to have all the coolest and none of the drawbacks. But definitely, if you are I don't even think it matters what edition. Like, mechanics in here aren't going to be a great deal of help to you playing editions other than AD&D. But I think it's a good reference and source of information and ideas and inspiration that could be used in any edition or any fantasy game that contains elves. So that's it for collection wise. Now, I did pick up a couple of things. I'll save this one for last because it is a very much it's a played out word, and they've been covered to death by the game changer. So first one is like, so as I said, I've been painting some dwarves. Here's a little sneak peek. I'll grab one out here. You're probably not going to be able to see that very well, and my cameraing is not doing too great. Well, terrible. So there wasn't much of a preview. We'll just pretend that it's censored. But obviously, I mean, you can see here I've got glasses. When I'm on the computer, I wear glasses, and my eyesight is not what it used to be. So a solution was needed now. I've seen like the hobby sort of glasses, sort of goggles, but I do wear normal glasses as well. So that's to accommodate that. And I've got a big fat head, so things that get tight and cause headaches, and I don't want that. I don't want the weight of it, being able to look up and down at the TV. So I decided to go with a magnifying glass and lamp combined. I won't pull the whole thing around here, but I got this off eBay for, I mean, you can see my big ugly mug through there. I got this, not eBay, Amazon. It was, I think, $40 delivered. Again, this is Australian dollar. Actually, I think I got it for less because I had like a voucher thing. So it's USB powered for the light. So my computer tower is here to the left of me, and the light is next to it. So I just have the USB lead running into the computer. So hopefully I don't go too crazy there. Like, so there's a number of different lights, and you can change the brightness. Go down, then we'll go back up. And there's also a couple of colour modes too, so not stupid RGB crap, but more like natural lighting. That's a bit hard to see. I'll see if I can turn it. That's more of like a yellowish, amberish sort of light, and then sort of very like that cool white light kind of thing. So lighting that's going to help any sort of situation there. And then I just swivel it around out of the road next to my tower, and it's good to go. So the big thing, and I mean, there's 1,000,001 videos, and if you want to read about the science of them or how to use them or those kinds of things, just search for wet palette. So this is the first time I've ever used a wet palette. So I got the I think it's Red Grass Games. It's the version 2, so you'll have your sponge layer in there that absorbs the water, and then you'll have the paper on top. So with this particular one, it only comes with 15 of those sheets, but those sheets are actually reusable, so you can get 4, 5, 6 times out of it, potentially more if you really look after it. This is insanely great. So I live in Australia. It's winter here now, so it's not so bad. Like, summer is ridiculous. If you're trying to paint and you're just putting paint on like a plastic palette, or I'd often use just like a little glass plate, like dish, things would dry out very, very quickly. So you either had to like constantly do a little bit at a time, and the problem is if you do a little bit of paint, that dries a lot quicker. You do a big thing, it stays blob of paint, it stays wetter, but then you had a lot of wastage, and you know who wants to be wasting paint? So I got one of these, and it's been brilliant, and I really notice it a lot with the metallic paint. So the armor on those dwarves is all metallic. I actually used to me, like, all the paint that I use on the models is Vallejo or Vallejo, or I always call it Vallejo. I actually don't know if that's the correct pronunciation, but so be it. But I actually used a Tamiya paint that I had from when I scale model cars. So it was like a flat, like brushed aluminium color, and I dropped some of that on there, and it worked good. It kept the paint hydrated. You know, I would just give it a little stir with the brush now and then, just for that surface layer to stop, because metallic paint as soon as it starts drying, it gets clumpy, you get that skin on it. This thing was brilliant. So if you do not have a wet palette, and most of you probably do if you paint minis, but if you don't, they just are so worth the money. And for mixing paint on and stuff like that, really great. So apart from that, I mean, I've got a couple of smaller things. I've got a bunch of bases. So I've been gluing the dwarves in these like 25 millimeter Warhammer-esque bases. I bought some more of them because, you know, I bought that like 100 plus Rolpatha collection of minis, so I do plan to base them all. I do have some flock here. I do have a static flock applicator on the way. Never used one of them before, but obviously they're not exactly hard to do. So yeah, that's about it. Don't know how much stuff I'll be able to buy hobby-wise this month. My alternator and my Land Cruiser started playing up this morning. So I've got to investigate that, see if it's just a simple fix or whether I need to replace the alternator. And I'll probably just buy an alternator and replace it myself, because I'm a bit of a handy fellow. So thanks for watching. Shout out to Rivers RPG for giving me a shout out on his channel. Really appreciate it, mate. Shout out to all the dudes in Discord that I talk to on a regular basis. Zero Hobbies, Quinian, Beard Clipper, Cujo, It's a Critical. If I forget any, I don't have it in front of me at the moment, but if I forget any, apologies. But great bunch of guys. Fair few of them make videos for YouTube, and we have a good old time chatting every single day. Helps keep me sane while I'm at work. So thanks again, ladies and gentlemen, and hopefully this week I'll actually get to do my world building video. I started to get stuff together, then work and kids and things happen, so I'm very excited to kick that series off on the way and try to get you some better pictures of my dwarves so far. So I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.